It's not just Sargon, believe it or not. A lot of people want an explanation for this, and as you can see in the comment section, for some reason, many individuals are comparing the Romanian ancestral traditions with furries. A little bit disrespectful, I would say. But let's look at the traditions first, and then I can explain what's going on. Right, so this is the culture that people in British universities, individuals far more enlightened that have touched wisdom that I have never touched in my life, believe that white people don't have. Right, so I've heard this a lot of times, especially from the Guardian, BBC. Again, people that have more knowledge and understanding of humanity than I do, claiming that white people have no culture. Um, yeah, I think this may be it. Although I disagree with the context of, like white people. Like all of us are the same, yes? Like there is no difference between Romanians and British. Like what you see in this culture right here, it is very similar to what people are doing in America, and probably what people are doing in Germany here. The reality is that Eastern Europe has a very rich and diverse culture, which, when actually put in a video game or a movie, it ends up being a blockbuster. The Witcher, for instance, most of the monsters from The Witcher have roots in Eastern European culture, which goes to show a lot about Hollywood. When they talk about diversity and enrichment, they don't really look at any of these folklore stories. And it's not just Europe that they don't care about. They don't even look at the rich history of Africa or Asia. It's still like the same rehashed, boring old tropes. Vampires, werewolves, and the likes. But if you go into Eastern Europe, especially Romania, Bulgaria, Poland, you have like a lot of interesting mythological beings that could make for really compelling monsters or even heroes, various mythical creatures that could create interesting stories. The same could be said for Northern Europe, like especially the Norse mythology is very rich with cool shit. Although that one I would say is a little bit more touched by Western entertainment. Like you have God of War with the Norse mythology, and you have Thor in Marvel. But anyway, why do Romanians do these things? We do have like Christmas carolers, which you have like the kids coming around Christmas and they're singing carols and stuff. But we have something that happens during the New Year, and during the New Year, I think you can translate it to well wishers, I suppose. Like it's a word that doesn't exist in the English language, but it's a person that comes to your house to wish you well, right? So they're trying to wish you health. They're trying to wish you prosperity to yourself and to your family. So basically, every New Year's, the kids. It started, I believe, in villages. So like the kids of that village would dress up as various animals representing spirits, and they would go house to house, and they would have like various poems and various stories that they would recite in order to wish well upon that house. Again, this takes place in medieval time, and it's probably even more ancient than that. It has been passed on from generation to generation to the point where it's difficult to know the actual significance and meaning of every single spirit. But for instance, the bear, I know for sure that it represents strength and virility. So when they put on the bear costume and they do that performance, is to wish strength to that household, is to wish virility to the members of the household. And they're invoking the spirit of the bear in order to try to channel that energy, right? These are very old traditions, and the purpose of them is to bring the community together. Take into account that when you live in Eastern Europe, winters can be very harsh, very cold. So having like these communal festivities where despite the fact that everything is dead outside, people are coming together and they are partaking in some festivity where there's ample food and they exchange information with one another, like if you think about it from a medieval standpoint, is very healthy, right? So even though time has passed and we benefited from the wisdom of communism and the Soviet Union, these traditions managed to endure. And for someone that doesn't really know what's going on and seeing them for the first time, they look pretty bizarre, they look pretty odd. But in reality, it's a good thing, right? Like, I do believe that it maintains a sort of spiritual identity. I think that Bulgaria doesn't have them. Like, Bulgaria is just south of us, so it is very regional specific. And I haven't seen them being attacked for some reason, right? Like, there have been people that attack the church. It's like the church is greedy, it's making money. But when it comes to these types of traditions, for the most part, even like the members of USR, which is a very left-leaning, let's say, corporate left-leaning, social justice-oriented party, even they didn't have anything negative to say about this. And they are quite impressive. They are very primal, very... I mean, you would have to see one in order to realize it. It's definitely beautiful. I'll put it like this. And to see them being compared with furries, having been a furry myself in my youth, I do find it a little bit bizarre. Now, the cool thing about this, I will tell you why I do believe that this is mostly untouched, is that there's no corporatism involved. Like, you don't really have these costumes being promoted on Amazon and whatnot. I mean, you can still buy them from a store. But so far, most people that I have seen, they make them themselves. Usually they're made by hand. And they're passed on generation from generation. And that keeps something sacred about it, I would believe. It maintains the spirit of the thing. And it doesn't commercialize it, and you don't see it everywhere you go, like with other celebrations. Like, for example, with Santa Claus. But anyway, right, so now you guys know. I'm genuinely curious what you think, and I know that some of you also have your own ways of celebrating New Year's and different festivities that your country has. So I think you should be proud of them, because they may be unique. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.